The more you are waiting to see proof in your physical environment that you can trust yourself, the more you're going to be waiting. That's not how the universe works. The universe is not, it has nothing to prove to you. It simply is. This is about you proving to you, about you proving to you that you can trust yourself no matter what. Hello, sweet friends. Welcome back to Divine Alignment. Today, we are talking about creating in the quantum. I'm really excited for this conversation because yesterday I had such powerful conversations that really birthed the inspiration for this. And between a conversation, a client, and then my own reflections and realizations that this is such a truly, truly powerful thing for all of us to understand. So I really wanted to come and create and share this wisdom with you all, because I think when others can share their realizations, share what they're working through, we're all truly going through this mass awakening, this mass realizations and up leveling. So it seems individually sometimes, but so it's happening so collectively. So when we can share these insights with our brothers and sisters, we truly, I think, collapse time, which that is what we're going to be talking about, is how do we collapse time? And that is through working in the quantum. But I want to begin with what really birthed and inspired this conversation, because yesterday, as I was talking with a friend and then having one of my clients, it's so fascinating how reality is always showing us aspects of ourselves, which the universe in and of itself is. I am seeing more and more. It's truly the you inverse, universe, you inverse. Like, I'm seeing so many reflections in my physical reality lately of how truly this is a holographic universe. And I will think something and then it it's there. Or I've been talking about something and then someone else. Yesterday, there were two instances of people having conversations near me that I was like, what is happening right now? There were two women next to me. And first of all, they like pray over, I watch them pray over their food. And then they start talking about their astrology readings and Reiki. And I was like, wow, this is incredible. And then later on, I see this other couple and they're talking about without getting too, I'll just say we had similar beliefs based off everything that has been happening in our collective. And I was like, wow, this is so fascinating. And as I'm seeing this more and more, so then, I have these days where I feel like is super amplified, where I experience these types of things. And yesterday was definitely one. So then I am on my way to a client and to see a client. And it's my friend and I have a conversation. And she shares with me about how she is feeling defeated because she's been doing so much energetic work, so much physical and energetic work. And she was convinced that a health marker would be a different number, and it wasn't. And she said, I keep working on my intuition. I keep working on my intuition. And that's what we worked on in this session. And then I go to my client, and my client is sharing with me, I am ready for a shift. I am so sick of not being able to trust myself, not hearing my intuition. And I'm ready for a big change. Like, I'm ready to move past this. And if you are struggling to hear your intuition, to trust yourself, this is truly one of the absolute greatest things that I could tell you. Stop looking for evidence in the 3D of the work that you are doing in the quantum. Okay? I'm going to say that again. Stop looking for evidence in the 3D of the work you are doing in the quantum. This feels like a basic manifestation topic and technique and thing to say, but I promise you, this will shift and change everything, because when we are doing work on these higher realms and higher dimensions and higher frequencies, it will not always instantly appear in the physical 3D. However, it will show up in some way if we have trust, not only in God, source, the universe, not only in the manifestation, the creation, the desire, but in ourselves. And what came through for me, for both of these people, so clearly, and I'm not ever going to say that this is not for me as well, because most of my clients are also, we're all reflections of each other. So that's why I love this work so much, is because I get to see aspects of myself, not just in my clients, but in everyone. We're all aspects of each other. And what came through so clearly for both of them, talk about synchronicity, is the more that you are waiting, the more that you are waiting to see proof in your physical reality that you can trust yourself, the more you are going to be waiting. The more you are waiting to see proof in your physical environment that you can trust yourself, the more you're going to be waiting. That's not how the universe works. The universe it has nothing to prove to you. It simply is, this is about you proving to you, that you can trust yourself no matter what. And so no matter what type of work you are doing in your life, in your work, in your health, in your relationships, trust that you are doing work. Trust that you are intuitive. Trust that the signs and the messages that you are getting are correct. And so if you can trust this, now all of a sudden, you don't need the physical reality to mirror back to you that you can trust yourself, because you trust yourself no matter what. And ironically, once that occurs and once that shift happens, then you will see proof in your physical reality. But it takes a coming home to self. And one of the processes that I led my client through, that I so urge and I can't recommend enough, is to do this deeper somatic work within yourself and in your body, so that it does feel safe to trust yourself, so that it does feel safe to be in your body, because your body is always communicating to you. And for her, she was so out of her body that she had no idea what these messages, because we're so often trying to figure things out with the mind. We're trying to figure it out with the mind. And I see it all of the time when I ask people, when I ask clients questions, and you can always tell when they're in their minds, when they're trying to rationalize it and when they're trying to figure it out. And that's how we're taught. Okay. So there's nothing wrong or bad, or it's not like you've messed up. I still do it all the time. That's how we're programmed in this matrix. But really, when we can sink down into the body holds the wisdom, the body holds the answers, the body holds the keys. And when we begin to become aware of what this sacred temple is showing us and revealing to us and telling us, we now have all of the answers we need. And we don't need the physical to prove anything to us because we trust. We trust that the work that we're doing in the quantum, we trust that the work that we are doing in these higher realms is landing and is working and shifting. And regardless of if it shows up in the 3D, we trust. And it's really when we get to this sweet place of surrender that then we will see the proof. Then we will see the proof that we can trust. Because the reality is that the 3D is absolutely not a reflection. And when I say 3D, your physical reality that you are witnessing with your eyes, this is not a reflection of all the work you are doing in the energetic realm. It is not a reflection of all of the growth and shifts and changes you are going through, okay? Really, really receive that. It will eventually mirror back to you the changes, but I don't want you to ever get discouraged or think that you are not doing enough, being enough, or that you can't trust yourself just because the physical reality isn't mirroring back to you all of the shifts you think that you're doing. And I would just invite you to bring to mind an example, perhaps in your own life. Like, where do you think, because this is where we really like bring it home and land it in the body. Is there a number in your health, your, a blood panel marker or a vital sign or a disease diagnosis or a number on the scale or, oh man, especially a number on the scale, a number in your bank account, a number of ranking in your work, whatever it is for you, that you're like, I've done so much physical work. Why is my external not showing me that? Bring that to mind. And now know, or rather simply witness. How can you begin to witness it? That this number has actually, or this marker, or this physical representation has absolutely nothing to do with all the work that you have done internally. Can you just take a deep breath for that? We get so hard on ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves. And the more that we say that it has everything to do with what we're seeing reflected back to us. And so this is fascinating because I started this saying that this is the universe, the you inverse. And think of all of the things that drop in rapidly into your world simply because you are not attached to them. So these women talking about astrology and Reiki and and beliefs in the world, I have no attachment. I think of things and they just appear. That's because I'm not trying to prove anything to myself. It's these stickier things. It's these stickier things like our health and our money and our status that we've attached so much meaning and value and attachment to. And the more we stay stuck in that 3D matrix game, that's what determines our worth and how good we are. Really, I really feel like that is the biggest thing is the universe wants to strip away us needing external validation, external confirmation. No, you are sourced from within because you are an extension of source. You do not need your external 3D to tell you how worthy, whole, and complete you are, how abundant you are, how healthy you are, any of these things. Because once you receive that from within, once you come into the body, and this can take a while to learn. And I so recommend you work with someone, myself or someone else, to really learn this wisdom of your body. Because it's telling you everything that you need. Absolutely everything. And this is part of working in the quantum. This is part of tapping in, because the more that we are in our mind, the more we are in the 3D. And so, ironically, working in the quantum is often an embodied experience. Because if we are just floating in the clouds and just channeling, we need something to ground it down and ground it in. And so this is why working in the quantum is part of coming into the body. Because our body is like a tuning fork. It is always receiving signals from the universe. It's always receiving signals and signs, and it's picking up on messages. I mean, like I shared in a few episodes ago about like the Schumann resonance, like that is so wild that all of these, that the Earth's frequencies can be literally like impacting our bodies. And it's not wild at the same time because we're an extension of the Earth. How could it be? How could it be any other way? And so tuning into your body, I believe, is the portal, the pathway to connecting to the quantum. And when we tune into the body, it's typically closing off the physical senses, or rather the sense of sight with the mind. And when we do that, then we see into the other realms. I mean, think of just, why do we do meditation with our eyes closed? Why do we experience so many of these incredible experiences? Kissing, sex, breath work, meditation. Why do we do these things with our eyes closed so often? Right? Because there's a felt experience that's deeper than what our eyes, our physical eyes, can see. And when we can just trust that whatever we're receiving and feeling and sensing is true for us. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to align with the paradigms that you're seeing and sensing in this physical reality. No, trust. Trust yourself, trust your body. Come home to your body, regulate your nervous system, and it will show you everything that you need. Absolutely everything. I know that I can see for myself how so often in my life I was waiting to see the 3D reality, and I don't have everything that I want. I don't. And so this was also like such an opportunity for me to look at my blind spots too and see, where am I still waiting for the universe? Well, as long as I'm waiting for the universe is waiting for me. So as long as you are waiting on the universe is waiting for you. choose, decide you're ready, decide that that you are healthy, decide that you have the money you want, decide that you have the love you want. And as you make that decision powerfully, the universe has no choice but to bring it into the physical. It truly has no choice, but you have to trust yourself and know, absolutely know that it's coming to you. And that comes with coming into the body and trusting yourself as a divine extension of Source, God, the universe. So with that, my loves, trust yourself, honor yourself, know that all that you need and desire, all of the answers lie within. And so with that, sending you all infinite love and light.